that's all right.
Yeah?
I think so. Your microphone.
I do.
There you go.
All right.
All right.
Hello. Welcome. This is a podcast.
Is this a continuation of your podcast, or is this a new thing you're starting?
This is a brand new podcast.
Oh, wow.
This is
Okay.
a brand new podcast. So the thing is, right, the thing is that I'm quite new to podcasts and you're not. And if anything, Christina, who we are very, very happy to have here,
Hiya.
is probably a lot more used to doing podcasts than me as well, considering you have your own podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've done quite a lot on my podcast. That's just me, though. And I have my own way of doing stuff and my own,
Well,
we
all have our own way of doing stuff.
I guess so.
And I think that is a great segue into what I want to sort of make this podcast about. So, obviously, I'm a musician. I do events and stuff like that. And I think I believe that the creative mind is a very interesting thing.
Sure. Sure.
And I would love to know a little bit more about you as a creative and your journey and your sort of thoughts on it and stuff like that.
Would you know?
I actually really, really would.
You would be so lucky, wouldn't you? What would you like to know? I'm an open book.
I'd like to know where it started. I think that's always a good one to start with. Yeah.
Where the creativeness started.
When did you first know that you wanted to pursue this journey?
Ever since I was a kid, right? When I've enjoyed something, I've wanted to do it. So when I was really young, and still through now, football's been my obsessed with football. So when I was a kid, I used to dress up in full like head to toe kit, walk around with a football in case a game kicked off in like Asda. You know what I mean? Even younger before that, when you were like a little kid, I used to be like banging into dinosaurs and that. So I used to walk around like a fucking dinosaur, like, you know what I mean? So I've just been, whenever I've been interested in something.
Completely wasn't expecting that.
No, I know, yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So then as I get a little bit older, did you know that? He must have known. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. So then as I get a little bit older, I guess you just get into music. My dad always listened to, there was always music playing in the house, like Zeppelin, Queen, Elvis.
What was the very first song you remember hearing, like, as a kid?
Probably an Elvis song. My dad always played Elvis. Or George Michael.
Okay.
My mum and dad loved George Michael. Like, he's so, not like Club Tropicana and all that stuff, but like his solo stuff. Like, have you heard the album Listen Without Prejudice?
No.
Which was like...
I literally think I thought he had like one song.
Right, so I think this is a misconception of George Michael, because he's an excellent singer-songwriter. So he had like the pop stuff, like with Wham and that, and everyone just thought he was like a pop hit. He's like, no, seriously, like, I'm a serious musician. And then made this album called Listen Without Prejudice, which is Listen Without Prejudice, and it's like really deep singing. He was a closeted gay man when it wasn't as socially acceptable to be gay and all this stuff. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, besides the point. Creativeness, right? So when I was younger, I found out. Remember when Craig David came out?
What, like George Michael? Or?
No, like when he was like
brand new information.
7 days and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember watching on TV the people that were interviewing him on like This Morning or something, making a big deal about the fact that he wrote his own songs.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can do that. I couldn't at all do that.
Yeah.
And then it was also around the same time that like Eminem was coming out and getting big and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I just thought, in the same way that I thought if I walk around like a dinosaur, I'll be a dinosaur. I thought I just started.
So you went from potential football matches in Asda.
It's probably the other way around. So it's probably dinosaur winning the FA Cup.
Right.
To then just beat Craig David and Eminem. Yeah.
You know what's mad though? It's so funny that you speak about George Michael in the sense of like being taken seriously and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Because obviously you have a certain is it right to say like personality, like or like expectation, as in like as a rapper, Jack Fox?
Sure.
You know, a lot of humor's involved and stuff like that, and then obviously being a comedian and stuff like that. So the idea of sort of how do you manage those expectations? So, for example, one of my favorite songs of yours is 15 Minutes.
Oh, thanks, man.
Because I think it just comes away from amazing songs, regardless. Drive a car with your eyes closed, Shotgun Hotline, you know, all of like, you know, the witty football bars and stuff like that. Never a dinosaur bar though.
Not yet.
Interesting.
Not yet.
But
still time.
It's stuff that like is sort of, you know, expected from a Jack Fox sort of show and music and single and stuff like that. But is that your sort of goal to do that? Or is it like sort of like 50 Minutes for me stands out so much because it breaks the mold with what you're about, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm still... I know what you're saying with all the jokes and the stupid punchlines and whatever.
They're not stupid. They're fantastic.
Thanks. But like, you know, comedy style stuff.
Yeah.
But I can still write a song. I feel like, or still write. I'm still like, I'm a rapper first, and then I found me style as like the ridiculous, over the top sort of cartoon character.
Yeah.
Type of guy. And then I also feel like, I mean, Christina will tell you this probably personally. I feel like I'm quite a nihilist. Like a lot of my outlook on life is like, well, we're gonna die anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So like,
which is very, very funny because that is in one of your songs.
Well, that's the last line of 50 minutes, isn't it? But yeah, but so if when I normally end shows with 15 minutes because I do all these funny. Yeah. You know, drive a car with your eyes closed, I'm shouting at people's faces or whatever, and then wanting to be like, at the end of it, that's fine, we're going to die anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But that's also kind of my outlook on life.
It's almost like, because as an artist myself, as a musician myself, I don't really find it hard to sort of express myself and wear my heart on my sleeve like that. Okay. But I sort of like just throw it out there and then sort of worry about like what I've said after. If you like, like. It's a tough one because I feel like as a musician and as a lyricist, it's like it's very easy to just be like, he has a song, take this, however, you know, you sort of want to take it and stuff like that. But then it's sort of like how do you take it? Like you know, when you wrote 15 Minutes, sorry to just focus so much on this.
I like that you like it,
but I love it because I think it's just so. We're speaking about the creative mind, and it's beautiful in the sense of a creative mind is, you know, it's fantastic. It can unlock opportunities. It can turn something from nothing into something. Yeah, but at the same time, it can, I feel, be a sort of detriment a little bit and a struggle, and it can sort of, you know, affect a balance of, you know, a sort of a sense of like identity and stuff like that. Instead of putting all your eggs in one basket as a creative and stuff like that, like to sort of be able to connect with other people and because you can connect on a stage as a performer, you know. And then you can sort of connect through your music. But I suppose what I'm trying to say is that, do you find it difficult to write stuff like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. To write like you're quite good at writing like more personable songs, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted a stage name. Well, not one of the reasons, but I think this is how it played out in my head. Is that if I have a stage name. That is still, you know, people have like 90 Bro isn't obviously his born name. Yeah. But I still wanted a name that was like a name.
Yeah.
but it wasn't my name, so I could like not hide behind it, but I could create this sort of character-y sort of person. So that's why I guess I find it difficult to write like personal songs, but I still feel sometimes writing songs in general will make us feel better if I'm in a bad mood or whatever, regardless of what. If it's still like like a 16-bar verse of just like ridiculous punchlines, will still make us feel better. But it wouldn't necessarily get the issues I've got in my head off my chest, but it'll just make us feel better because I enjoy the creative process, I guess.
So, what is your favorite song that you wrote?
I don't know. I guess Drive a Car with Your Eyes Closed is always fun. People seem to like that one the most.
Well, what about you?
I wrote some songs and released them as a little EP, and I recorded them all in Christina's bedroom at Merrimack Valley. And there's a couple of songs on there that I just like. It's like 3 minutes worth of just me rapping, like top to bottom. And there's a couple of like verses on there. I'm like, pretty good verses, but I understand. I understand and appreciate that it's very shallow just to write bars for the sake of writing bars, and that's a very niche, and especially the type of bars that I write as well, where it's like referencing footballs from the 90s in your Panini sticker books. Like it's very niche.
Well, that's like retro, and that's like kind of cool now. Like,
I hope so.
Like retro football shirts, all the rage now. You think about like FIFA, how like they have the icons and stuff. Right. You're talking about stuff like that. Like,
and I pick, you pick football, like pick stuff that's like I don't know, like I work backwards, so I'll write. I pick a footballer like Morten Gams Pedersen, who's ever rhymed Morten Gams Pedersen, so then I'll work backwards from that and like think of another A-pop. But it's just like an exercise. That's like an exercise, like a writing exercise for me. I don't know. But it's also like a lot of the music that I grew up on, and a lot of the rap music that I like when I grew up, when I was getting into music and enjoying it and stuff, was a lot of the same sort of stuff. They talk about basketball players and stuff if they're American, and it's just it's all I know. So.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is about just all you know, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also kind of feel like there's nobody really else in the Northeast that kind of does it like me, for better or worse.
No, I agree, and I think that's a testament to your success in the Northeast.
I don't know about success.
I would 100%. I think if you go pretty much anywhere in the music scene, people will have heard of. People would have heard of Jack Fox, 100%.
Yeah, but everybody's heard of everybody though across the music scene.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that with the amount of time that you've been doing this,
well, that's another thing. I've been going a while,
and more importantly, doing this consistently, not starting a project, stopping it. I'm talking about myself here. Like. Consistently knowing who you are, having that identity, and consistently moving forward, so that it's not really about if you're good enough, if you whatever it is. It's about people seeing growth and development, as an artist and stuff like that. And in turn, I feel like a lot of people respect you as an artist, as a musician.
Well, I do hope so. I was saying that though, I performed at Ultra Jam the other week, and I played some songs, Punch You in the Face, stuff like that, which I haven't released yet, and people are starting to know the words to them, even though I haven't released it yet. So I've got a whole project that I really like sitting on my laptop. I need to just release it, but I'm just don't want to. I can't be arsed with it, but I need to just release it.
This is the struggle of an artist and of a creative, because it's like you can wake up one day and be so inspired and so motivated and be like, I'm so ready for everyone to hear, especially when you're in the recording process and you first do it. It's like you so want to be like, I want people to hear this. I want people to share in like my excitement and stuff like that. But then for me as well, like I sort of lose that after a while. And I think when it comes to like the marketing promotion side of things as well, which we can certainly talk about. But I think it would be interesting to know Christina, your sort of outlook on, from the sort of outside looking in sort of thing on, being with an artist, I suppose, a creative and stuff like that. And just sort of what your thoughts are on it, if that's all right, if it's not too personal or deep or anything.
Because this whole time, what I've been thinking is that it's all about authenticity, because that's where you get your style. And I was actually surprised that you said that you have a harder time writing like the deep stuff. I was surprised at that, because whatever you write is always very authentic, and it's very authentically you. Where you get caught up in it, and where I'm sure everybody probably gets caught up in it, is the like what you feel like you should do, and the marketing and the how to put it out. Because you said you've been sitting on this project forever, but then when I say, or when you say I should just release it, but then you go, oh, but I really should promote it like this and then do this. It's when you get caught up in what you think you should do. I'm sure everyone gets caught up in 100%, that.
100%.
So that's where it gets in the way of the authenticity and just who you are, because the project and everything that you put out is who you are as any artist.
How do you stay authentic though? Like, is that even a thing? Like, is it just a sort of part of who you are, or is it like a sort of, because obviously, we're talking about TikTok and social media and stuff like that, and I think like there's been a massive surge in, artists going from just making music and doing that side of things to, I guess, I'm doing the whole DIY thing. And, for me personally, coming up with video ideas and stuff like that, like
it's hard work, man.
It's hard work, but I feel like if you get it, and again, like if you sort of do a little bit of research, it's like a new skill.
Absolutely.
That you can sort of have, because I mean, I have to say, in terms of your promotion and stuff like that, it's very much like content. It's very eye catching, and it's very sort of attention grabbing. In a world where essentially you need to capture people's attention.
Yeah.
But what do you think about it? Like, I mean, do you like it? Do you not? Like, is it easy? Is it difficult? Like,
I think it's tough. I do also think though, I don't like when people are like, oh, I hate this shit. You gotta do TikToks. Yeah, man, you have to. Like, like, you can't have your cake and eat it at the same time. If you want to release a song, I want to get 10,000 streams, you have to have a TikTok account. Or don't have a TikTok account and don't complain.
Yeah.
The game's the game. Like, you have to play the game or don't play the game. And also, it's fine if you don't want to do TikTok, but like, don't also complain about, or have the best song ever. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be a guy without a TikTok and get 500,000 streams. It's just not going to happen. So
no, it will happen. For, I think there's this expectation or this misconception that you can be like an overnight sort of success just because you saw something, go viral or whatever. But then it's sort of like, is that what you want to be remembered for?
But yeah, so would you rather have one song go viral or have like an album's worth of songs on 10,000 streams?
Well, I feel like it comes down to, sort of integrity. Like the integrity of being an artist, like it, because it also depends on like sort of your position, like in life,
Well, sure, things can happen quickly, can't they? I suppose
your experience, but I mean, I think that's where it comes down to the journey, the journey of sort of putting that work in. I mean, I remember I borrowed my friend from church's MacBook, and I just started recording songs on there, just on the mic of the MacBook, and I went from that to recording on GarageBand on my phone and stuff like that, and making the most of what I had.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, if you want something to happen, you have to just just make it happen.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
I know, like back in 2018, I did all those EPs.
Yes.
And that was with the intention of, let people know who I am. And now I guess, I mean, it's some years later, but like you say, if you go somewhere and I've made friends with lots of people now, and I know these people, and I don't know what I thought would happen after those EPs. I thought I'd be
it's like, did you do it for you, or did you do it for the output of?
I think I did like 9 for me, and then eventually I was like, I've got to see this through. Haven't I? At the very end, like the last few, I kind of threw the towel in a little bit because I was running out of ideas, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, the first few, I was like, no, I'm going to challenge myself to do a different one every month in a different genre, a different style, and you look back at some of them songs, and it's like, yeah, they were really rough and ready, but I learned loads from. I learned about myself as an artist, about how to use GarageBand, about how to just write songs, picking up the guitar and just like learning chords, and I learned loads that I now use almost day to day when I'm doing anything else. So
I mean, in terms of output and work output, I mean, there's not many that do it the way that you do it. Like if you,
I don't do it so much anymore, but
yeah, but you got to have a rest. You know what I mean? Like that's something I'd like to speak about.
Well, sorry, that's also another thing, is that's probably when it turned from something that I enjoy doing. Well, I still enjoy doing it, but something like as a hobby to a job. Like I'm in a covers band, I do comedy and stuff. I do stuff like 5 or whatever. So when it turns into a job, you're a bit more precious over it. Whereas when it's like a hobby, you just want it, not a hobby, I'm reluctant to say hobby, but like a passion project.
Yes, passion.
You're throwing so much out because you just want something to stick, and then when it becomes like a job or something you're really precious over, that's why I haven't released anything for forever, probably. I guess, I don't know.
But it's because I haven't released anything. But my last song I released was Lavender.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sitting on a lot of stuff, but I've got other things that I'm doing as well.
Sure.
And obviously you do as well.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it? You're a comedian. You're a drummer for like every band in the Northeast. You're a lead guitarist at open mics.
A little while.
A podcaster.
Yeah.
And of course, a rapper as well. And it's, how do you do it? Like, honestly, like, how do you balance that? Like, how do you, because I'm tired just listing them off, man.
I guess, like, being in like I said, turn it into a job. So being in like covers bands and stuff now, that takes up most of my weekends, which is kind of unfortunate because I got to do the other things a little bit less. Like I don't do as much comedy as I used to do anymore. But again, though, comedy, since I've turned it into a job, I'm doing less. Like I used to travel around the country to do gigs to nobody for no money. That's just what you've got to do when you first start doing
100%,
comedy.
100%.
And now I also see comedians that have started way after me. Like say there's like a leaderboard of comedy. I was like here, and then somebody started on here, and now they're starting to catch me up just because they're doing more work.
Yeah,
but that's just how it goes. You have to. If I'm juggling so many plates, you have to accept one of them's going to start spinning a little bit slower.
Because that's the thing, isn't it? I feel like obviously there's a focus, and I mean, is there sort of, because I know from my side, I'm doing what I'm doing because I want to make sure that I've got a safety net for everything that I've got going on.
Sure.
Different streams of income, stuff like that. I want to make sure it's sustainable, and I want to make sure that also it's exciting.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's nothing worse than burnout when you're hitting music and then you're like, all right, well, what do I do now? Sort of thing. Because if you're made for it, then I feel like you need to keep your toes in the pool a little bit, even if you're not just going out for a swim or whatever. But it's like what's the end goal for you? Like, What do you want to achieve?
Well, to be able to live doing what I enjoy financially. I'm sorry, I'm still recovering from pneumonia. Sometimes I get short of breath. I'd like to go on a tour.
In with what? Like
whichever comes
Jack
first.
Fox?
Whichever comes first. Because I could book a tour tomorrow for Jack Fox rap gigs, but nobody would come or give a shit or whatever. I'd like to either be like a hired gun as a drummer on a tour for somebody who. I mean, obviously, I'd love to go on tour with Hive Mind or something, which we've done before, but it's a lot of hard work, and everybody's older now. People have like really serious jobs and whatever, so they just can't take like weeks off work at a time. But actually, funnily enough, Hive Mind got offered a tour with a band not too long ago, but it was going to fall over when our guitarist was on his honeymoon. So, speaking of things getting in the way, I think just divorce him. That's fine.
I'm keeping that in, but
no, I'd love to go like on as a session player for somebody. As a comedian on like opening for somebody. There's like an opening act. Or it's like I got this gig supporting Devo, MC Devo.
Yes,
and that's just one gig. I emailed the agent to be like, hey, I'm on this one in Middlesbrough and it's sold out and whatever. I think I'm a good fit. My music's kind of like daft and silly. No reply. To like try and get on the rest of the tour. No reply. That's like a goal to set. It's not like the end goal. I'm not like going to do that and then retire. But that's like a goal I'd like to do. But the end goal is just to keep. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. Spinning lots of plates, different fingers in different parts. I'm going to I haven't announced this yet, but I'm going to Edinburgh Fringe this year with Rolls Royce, taking Rolls Royce to Edinburgh Fringe.
Awesome.
Just to do a week. That's like a goal of mine that I want to do for a long time.
So do you have like sort of goals within your career? Because this is what we're talking about. We're talking about a career. Like it doesn't matter what level it's at.
Sure.
It's a career, and you do what I do. You make money from your career. So like, did you set yourself goals like in your career to hit? And like once you've hit them, you're like, sweet.
Yeah, guess so. Maybe not consciously, or maybe it's more consciously in the last few years. But like when you, like for instance, when you start off doing comedy, you're doing these like open mics where you're doing like 5-10 minutes, and then you might get to headline one of these open mic nights, and you think, oh, that's quite nice to have your name on the poster. And you do 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes, and you go, oh. Like, but you haven't said, when you start doing the open mics, you haven't said, I'm going to headline one of these one day. You know what I mean? But then you get on, say, do the weekend shows at the Stand where you're doing 10 minutes, and in the back of your head you might think, I'd like to do the 15-minute spot because it's a more prestigious spot, you get more money, it's a better. And then now, like I was saying to Christina a while ago, a lot of inside baseball information, but there was the Stand main office is in Edinburgh, and they were having some staff were leaving, some staff were coming or whatever, and a lot of comedians couldn't get replies when they were emailing saying, can I have some more gigs? And 5 years ago, I would have just like killed for one spot on one lineup, and now I'm like, I'm not getting 6 emails from 6, but like it's all about perspective. So like many years ago, I would have loved for like one spot, and now I'm like annoyed that I'm not getting 5 at a time. But nobody else is, so it's not just me at the point now.
I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, do you feel like, Christina? Do you feel like as like sort of artists, because you've met a lot of musicians in the Northeast and stuff like that. Like, sort of, what's your sort of outlook on the Northeast music scene? Like, from what you've saw, obviously you're from is it Boston? Is it? Yeah. So like completely different.
Yeah.
The American music scene, I can imagine, is completely different. Like, if you're comparing the two, you shouldn't make comparisons. But if you're comparing the two, and like, what do you notice?
I love how intertwined it all is, where you get people doing solo things and then working on something together, and then always kind of supporting each other, either literally on a bill or just like promoting each other. I've noticed that a lot here. That's probably the first thing that I've noticed. Yeah, is that everybody kind of knows everyone and everyone is lifting each other up.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a sense of community with it. And I mean, in terms of, because I mean, I used to put on rap nights way back when. I still don't know how I did that, why I did that, but I was just so fascinated by it. And obviously I used to put on showcases and stuff like that. And I think there's always been the essence of community, but to really tap into what it actually is just something just entirely different. And I just find it so sort of, so what's it like in Boston, like in that sort of music scene and stuff like that?
I mean, to be honest, I'm really more in the music scene here than I am there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, and it's mostly because of the nature of what you do, that when I'm here, I'm going to your work, which is all the gigs and things. And me at home when I'm working, I'm, too busy to really do much of that either. So I'm honestly more in the scene here than I am at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you never been to a show in Boston or anything?
Not like these ones. No. If I'm open mics, they're not as welcoming though, because that's the thing. I have gone to open mics at home after being at open mics here, and it is so different that everyone, it's very cliquey. Everyone already knows everyone, and they're welcoming in the sense that, like, yeah, it's open. You can go up and, we're going to cheer for you and whatever, but I didn't get anyone's name. I didn't it was so, I don't know. It's just like that. It's just like they already have their group and they're set. And if you want to get up and do some songs, then that's cute. But then we're going to come back next week with our same group of people. Whereas here, I've heard about how people show up a couple times and then they're in the group and they're, everyone introduces themselves and everyone hopes to see you next time. And it really is a community.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, it kind of needs to be, because we're looking at, we're only just really as a music scene and on the Northeast really being noticed.
I think so. I wonder if that's, I feel like the Northeast gets overlooked a lot by the rest of the country, even not just in terms of music, but just in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to acknowledge the fact of Sam Fender definitely,
I guess
had a impact. But then it's a weird one, because I've noticed a lot of changes since first putting on showcases and stuff like that. I mean, I think I started 2016, 2017. I mean, when was the first show? Was it Out of the Crowd at Barca that you did for me? Or was
it would have been. It would have been probably 2017.
2017. Probably. Yeah, and then since then, I mean, for me, I've just always, I guess, just been chasing this thing of sort of. It's just such a weird one, because I used to put on rap as at coffee shops. I would see a venue and I'd be like, that's sick. That's great for music. It's got this sort of feel to it that can lend to the music sort of thing. And
isn't that weird? I think that's part of being a creative, speaking of creative minds and that, when you see something I feel like I'm quite good with that, with hearing a sample of a song. I remember for the song Rolls Royce on my show, I heard Wishing on a Star on the radio, and I was like, that's the song. I just knew. I knew exactly that was. I knew exactly what I was going to do with it, how I was going to chop it up, how I was going to cut it up, what I was going to use. I just knew exactly. And sometimes you just get that vibe where you see something, hear something, see something, and you're like, that's what that is. There's no other way to explain it. Instinct, I guess. Just know.
I've definitely been lately about just trusting my instinct, trusting my thought process, trusting, because I've made a lot of right moves and I made a lot of wrong moves in terms of, business and stuff like that. And I'll openly say, like, I'm not a businessman. Like, I'm just someone with a passion to make something sort of turn from nothing to something. And I'll try and do anything that it takes to do that. And I'm also like I've always said this is my biggest inspirations are the people that I'm sort of closest to, you know, like the likes of you as a rapper, you know, your work ethic, stuff like that. You know, I look at Abby Nicks as a rapper, and all these amazing singers come through the open mic and stuff like that, and I'm inspired by them. You know, like I'm an active fan of what they are, and I feel like for me personally, I wasn't always like that. I was, but I wasn't. You know, I sort of had this mindset of I still wanted to be an artist. You know, and it was when I done that thing at HMV where I won it because of, you know, sort of the community that I built and stuff like that, which is where community is just so powerful, and how it can create a fan base almost. There's people in the morning coffee that know your music and have, you know, they know who that is behind you there. You know, and I think like that's what I've been trying to build, and I think that's essentially why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because there's actually a platform there. And I think it comes down to sort of like, what's your direction? What's your end goal? Like, what's your destination sort of thing? Like, how do you want to be remembered? Like, you know, like, not even like sort of, do you feel like you're going to be doing this like your whole life?
Yeah, I think so. Unless I really, well, no, even then, like, I don't know, touch wood, unless something really bad happens and I can't. But I just don't see a world in which I won't be seeing something or thinking of something and writing it down on my phone, or I just don't see a world in which that won't happen.
Yeah. And do you think that's just because you came so far? And
it's just all I've done since I was, when did I start writing songs? 14, 15?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was saying. Is this who you are, though? Yeah. That's the authenticity thing. That is who you are. That is how your brain works. And you were talking about instinct too, but I also think it's a combination of instinct, which obviously you guys have, and building the skill, because you have the experience that you've been doing this so long that you can hear something on the radio and say that's it because of how many times you've already done that.
Yeah.
So it's the skill too.
I was going.
No, I'm just agreeing.
Yeah, I guess, and it's also like, you know, we've been doing it a long time, so that's something that you do. It's like, yeah, like young comedians ask us all the time, like, oh, how did you try to find, when younger people try to find shortcuts?
Yeah,
how do you build up half an hour? I said, how do you? There's no shortcut. You just got to do it, man. And I'm not saying that I'm like the greatest of all time, whatever, but I've been doing it so long that I just have a back catalogue of stuff where I can.
Yes.
And yeah, once you learn, there's the big shortcut is learning. There's no shortcuts. How's that for a t-shirt? And then things
explosion. Yeah. Coming up on here right now.
And then things like oh dear me.
Wheel it.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. You were saying.
I don't know. I forgot what I was talking about.
All right. Dropping some mad wisdom there.
No, so it fucked me out. I was in a hospital, right? I was in a hospital with pneumonia.
Yeah.
And I was sitting thinking, like, I gotta make a joke out of this because it's just not gonna. So I've got like a bit that I'm gonna try for me pneumonia bit.
Yeah.
And whenever I next manage to get on stage, but it's like you can't not sit in a hospital for 3 days and just mope around. You've got to think, how can I turn this into something?
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have.
Well, no, but you channel it into something, though.
No, 100%. Again, it's. I feel like when it comes down to that, it's like you're very innovative. Like
me,
yes, 100%.
Don't know about that.
No, 100%.
Not the first person to make a joke about pneumonia. In a hospital.
No, but I'm talking about just like your creative process, like the way that you were like, I want to do like an EP a month to just see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to putting out music and putting out on the internet and stuff like that, that's a back catalogue, and that is essentially a diary of your life. It's like a biography of your life.
Specifically, yeah.
And,
I guess so.
you know, to sort of say it like that. And then on top of that, you've got all these achievements that you've had in so many different sort of sectors of life as well. So, I mean, you know, you support Goldilocks and Chain. Twice.
Yeah.
You've had your own show, your own comedian show. You start a podcast.
You're starting a podcast right now?
If it goes out.
No, well, could just be a weird chat in a bedroom with three guys.
But, I mean, I don't want it to go on sort of too long, but I mean, I think, firstly, Christina, what are you most proud of Jack Fox as what he's done in his career?
So that ties into what I was just about to say, is that other people are always proud of him. As you know, people know him. It's part of, it shows how far his career's come. He doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it.
On the way back from the hospital on a certain morning, got recognised in the petrol station. On the way back, I was like, what do you thought? I was like, oh, hi, mate. You all right? Yeah. How you doing? No, I'm fine. Yeah, just been in the hospital with pneumonia, so...
Still have the hospital bracelet on? And you were talking before about what's the end goal, or did you set out to achieve that goal or whatever? And you mentioned it a little bit, but it's the never being satisfied, I think, is part of who you are too. And because you'll headline, the shows at the Stand. You'll get on a weekend and you'll say, yeah, but I wasn't headlining the weekend, was I? Yeah, but I wasn't doing this, was I? Yeah, but it wasn't this. It's the whole find 100 pounds on the ground and wish it was 200. It's just like, but to answer your question, I think that what I'm most proud of though is just the constantly striving for more, and the goalpost is always shifting, but in a good way, in like a constantly creating and constantly moving and never being satisfied with anything kind of way.
Thanks very much. Christina's my biggest fan, by the way. She's my biggest fan.
Awesome.
Yeah, but another thing is, like, you mentioned, like, I did the show and supported these people and stuff, and it is cool. It is cool. I'm not going to bullshit. It is cool. But what am I supposed to, like, if I'm a comedian, you're supposed to have an hour-long show that you take up to Edinburgh Fringe. If you're a rapper, you're supposed to get on shows not supposed to, but like that's the natural progression. Support acts that are bigger than you that have done it before.
Yeah, but I can imagine you didn't have this same mindset when you first started being a comedian. I mean, obviously you've been coming to open mics, and a lot of new comedians are coming through, and they're looking at you for, guidance or just having a chat and stuff like that, because I feel like influence and inspiration and motivation and encouragement is so important within this community.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's what's going to bring in the next ones that are coming through, and you talk about sort of, you have to put work in, you have to put time in, you have to put experience in, and you're talking about how there's kids today that think that everything's going to happen straight away and stuff like that.
Sorry. Well, there's people that just think like the goal is to go viral, and it's like, no, the goal is to. Well, I mean, that might be a goal of yours to have a clip that goes viral or whatever, and that's fine. But that's not. That can't be the end goal to have one clip, one song go viral. That's not sustainable. To have again, it depends what you want. Though I'm saying it can't be. It depends what you want. If that's what you want, then fine. But if you want to have a longevity in a career, you can't just
sustenance.
Yeah. Then yeah. I mean, I guess you can just be a one-hit wonder, like someone like fucking Gangnam Style or something. I guess you can. But
shots fired.
Well, I mean,
that might be wrong to say. Actually, what part of Korea is he from?
I
can't say that.
Missiles fired. I'll say it. I don't care.
No,
Do you know what I mean though? Like,
it reminds me of, like, you've seen Endgame, right?
obviously
Avengers.
not.
No,
No.
you haven't. You haven't seen Marvel.
No.
Do you know who Thanos is?
I've seen the memes of the rings and that. Bro. When was the last time?
Okay. How about this? So you're scaling a mountain,
Okay.
right?
All right, sure. Rather watch a movie, but yeah.
Then when you get the top,
Okay.
what's left to scale?
Nothing, I suppose.
The Thanos thing was a lot better.
Okay, all
It
right,
was
yeah.
Marvel
I don't really,
Avengers. Anyway,
I don't really mess with Marvel.
it's like
saying.
when is enough? When have I achieved whatever I've
Okay,
achieved? You know, but then it's sort of like you're talking about sustenance. You're talking about sort of. We don't know how long we've got on this this world, so it's like, are you looking at the long term? Are you looking at just the short term, or just looking to just keep moving and just and see what happens?
Yeah, one thing my mum started to mention to us is you got to have a pension. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I don't have any.
Such a good
point.
I don't know.
I have no security in that sort of area.
Just start doing performances like
What?
Drive a wheelchair with your eyes closed.
Don't wheel a wheelchair with your eyes closed. Yeah, yeah, it's good. Mobility scooter with your eyes closed.
Push a wheelchair. Oops, it's 5 o'clock now. Okay, one more thing.
Jeez, okay.
We have a lot of new performers coming through to open mics, and one of my biggest things here is to get people and artists that are, either on the way or have had success and stuff like that. And sort of, what's the one thing that your advice in doing this? Like, what's like one thing that you think is so important to do?
Don't panic.
I like that. I like that.
Just there'll always be someone younger and better than you. There'll always be somebody getting more gigs than you, getting more streams than you, getting more views than you. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, nice one. Thank you very much
You're welcome.
coming on the podcast. Thank you, Christina. If you've liked it, like it, and
Don't panic.
don't panic. See ya.